What's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome to another evening edition of the Evening Alpha, which takes place in the evening most nights because it's the evening, and that's what we do, is chill in the evening together. I love it. I love you guys. As always, I am so happy to see everybody in chat. We're going to go through that in just a minute. But first, who am I and what do we do here? My name is Todd Wanish. I'm a 26-year veteran of the comic and animation space. Worked also in technology, lots of startups, founded a bunch of startups, advised a lot of startups, mentored a lot of startup founders. The Evening Alpha is a place for us to come together in the evening, reminisce on the day's events, check out the news, see what's been happening, talk about things in the space in a little bit of a different perspective than everybody else. You're not going to find the 5 best projects to buy today or the 6 reasons why this project sucks. Like, that's not what we do here. Not very clickbaity. We're actually, because we are professionals and because we run our own NFT project, this is really a time for us to learn as well as it is a time to discuss really what's happening in the world of Web3. It changes every day, and it's really important for all of us to stay on our toes and learn as much as we can. I mentioned an NFT project. That's because I am the founder of an NFT project called Adult Fantasy. What is Adult Fantasy? It is a cartoon and animation-based character franchise. So it is designed by a team of industry veterans from Marvel Entertainment, Cartoon Network, and Adult Swim. That is my background as well as some of the other members. And what we do is we pair our community members, people that we lovingly call adults, with world-class storytellers to create and develop new prominent Web3 character franchises to be used across entertainment, licensing, and publishing. What we are doing is we are creating the Marvel of the future. We're going after the jugular vein of Marvel. They did a great job for about 80 plus years. And ever since Disney bought them, in my opinion, they have dropped the ball tremendously. And so because we've been on the inside and we've worked for those businesses and we know how it works, we know how they do it, what works and what doesn't, and what they can never do. And so we are going to use that to our advantage. And all of us together are going to create the new franchises of the future, right? The next Batman, the next Superman, the next Spider-Man, the next Avengers will come out of Adult Fantasy. We know this because we've done it before. We've done it for Marvel, and we can do it for you, right? So it's not a quick process, but it's a process, and we know how to get it done. And so that is what we are here to do. So let's jump into chat real quick before we check out the news item for the day. J-Raw, what's up, man? How are you? Educational learning type of NFTs to interact with would be cool for kids. Yeah, we're going to learn. We're going to check this out. Bad Kitty, how you doing? Welcome. Rageous, how's it going? Hey, folks. Oh, Kurgan Reg. What's up, man? Been a while. How are you? He's saying hey to J-Raw, but I'll say hey to you. Rageous, yeah, meeting scheduled for 9:30, starts at 9:30. I understand. 2 minutes late. Sometimes you just gotta, delayed gratification is a good thing. Dusty, what's up? Started up a lot of startups. I've stirred up and started up a lot of startups. Lovingly, 100% lovingly referred to as adults. Hey, it's Terrence White. What's up, man? Good to have you here. So this is Terry. Terry is a longtime friend of mine. He's also at Adult Swim. So official Adult Swimmer in the house. So say hi to Terry, everybody. Terry, we're gonna have you on, man. We gotta do an Adult Swim interview. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Terry, I've known Terry for long time. I'm so happy you're here, man. That's great. Hey, y'all. What's up? All right. Cool. So, by the way, if you are new, especially Terry, because I know he's going, hey, there's Hype. What's up? How you doing? If you are new, here's how this works. We really just kind of go through an article and we talk about what's going on in the space a little bit. And then we tend to go over and have an after party in Discord. And I think tonight we are playing Among Us. I've never played before. I'm gonna get my ass kicked like I usually do. If you don't have, I think Dusty will hook it up. I think if you don't have, you can get. Oh, now I'm gonna butcher it. You can either get Among Us on stream for $5, or you can get it free on your phone. I'll be using my phone since since even if I bought it, I'd still get my ass kicked because I don't have a mouse. Like I just use my trackpad. So maybe using my fingers on a smartphone will actually be better, right? We shall see. We shall see. So everyone is invited. Terry, you of course as well, and Rages, you got it on stream. Awesome. And of course, dude, I can never Killigan or Reg. You're totally invited too. Dusty says, tonight we'll be playing Among Us. You'll need to have it on your stream games, or you can get it on your mobile, right? Terry says he can only take a fraction of credit, but thanks. Terry's been at Adult Swim now for a long time. Homeboy, you get way more credit than most people because you've done it. And you should talk to Terry. Terry's had his own show on Adult Swim site too. See, I'm just gonna toss you out there, man. All right, let's see what we got tonight. Let's see what we got going on. So this is from the New York Times. I haven't read this article. We just kind of read this cold, and we're going to go through it. Just so you know, sometimes the New York Times can be really flowery in their language when it comes to NFTs. Most oftentimes, though, their op-eds tend to be a little more on the negative. So it'll be interesting to see if they go positive or negative or tongue-in-cheek. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So this is, does a toddler need an NFT? The new frontier of children's entertainment is internet native cartoon characters selling non-fungible tokens on social media apps for tots. All right, here we go. Appropriate considering we're talking about Adult Swim tonight. When Olympia Ohanian, the daughter of the tennis player Serena Williams and the internet entrepreneur Alexis Ohanian, was an infant, her parents got her a plastic baby doll. Then they got that doll an Instagram account. FYI, Alexis Ohanian is now partnered with Moonbirds. I think he was part of the $10 million fundraise that Moonbirds just got after Moonbirds raised whatever 70, 80 million or however many millions they made from that crazy launch. Alexis is in that as well. So I guess he's also doing this. Kai Kai, as the doll was named, emerged on the platform in 2018 in a series of enigmatic photographs. Though the doll's feed resembled crime scene photography, Kai Kai could be dumped unceremoniously in a sandbox or splayed lifelessly on a lonely stretch of asphalt. It also had a delightfully nostalgic quality. The images embodied the comic dark side of a young child's obsessional devotion to a beloved object. When a new plaything appears, the object may be ruthlessly discarded. Every photo of Kai Kai's casual neglect seemed infused with Olympia's own boundless spirit. Okay, that's interesting. As the doll amassed followers, however, she adapted to the demands of various online platforms. Soon, she had mutated into a computer-generated cartoon figure with doe eyes and a curly queue of hair on top of her head. This new, seemingly sentient Kai Kai could lip-sync to viral videos like a TikTok star and wave from a FAO Schwartz toy convertible like a mini influencer. Eventually, the original Kai Kai doll vanished from social media, replaced instead by a new one styled after the cartoon version and available for purchase on Amazon. Last week, Kai Kai dropped her first NFT collection, of course. Kai Kai is part of a movement to drag children's, see, they're using the words drag children's, right? Like it's a little bit of, I can already see the sense, the way they're going to frame the article. Kai Kai is part of a movement to drag children's entertainment into the digital future. She was animated by the tech company Invisible Universe, which develops internet-native cartoon character intellectual property attached to celebrities. Invisible Universe has also created a long-lost teddy bear character for the TikTok-famous D'Amelio family and a cartoon food influencer dog for Jennifer Aniston. And Kai Kai's NFTs, or non-fungible tokens, unique digital assets, that have birthed a highly speculative marketplace riddled with gimmickry. Ah, there you go. Gotta take a shot there. Little bit of opinion. I mean, it is riddled with gimmickry, but it's not. This is framed a little on the negative side there. Highly speculative, sure. So is journalism. or were released on Zigazoo, an app for children as young as 3 that bills itself as, quote, the world's largest social network and NFT platform for kids. Now, that's interesting. I've got a friend that has a social network for kids. So that's interesting that there's a competitor there. Does your toddler need an NFT? Zigazoo says yes. The app's mission is to, quote, empower kids to shape the very landscape and infrastructure of NFTs and Web3 to help them, quote, express themselves through art and practice essential financial literacy skills and allow them to grow into tomorrow's digital citizens. As Rebecca Jennings recently reported in Vox, efforts to usher children into worlds of cryptocurrency, NFTs, and blockchain technology are being pitched as preparing future workers for lucrative jobs in tech. Traditional children's entertainment has long angled at extracting maximum cash from its little consumers. Soon, Pixar will release a gritty origin film featuring the Toy Story character Buzz Lightyear. But the slick language suggesting that kids should spend money to make money feels new. Platforms like Zigazoo are building a hype bubble for children and pitching it as a creative outlet and educational opportunity, even a civic duty to join in. I mean, kids spending money to make money is not new. I mean, every single app in the App Store has that feature. You know what I mean? Like, name one app that doesn't have in-app purchases. And I dare you to find one parent who hasn't had their child accidentally buy a bag of coins or tokens using their parent's credit card that's already on file with Apple to then spend inside of the game. So spending money to make money is not new. The NFTs certainly are, but I think that's because, because we're in the space, I think it's pretty obvious that we understand that NFTs can be used for anything, right? It doesn't even have to be presented as an NFT. It's something that you buy and you own, as opposed to something you buy and you don't own. So it makes perfect sense to me. I don't think it's an upsell or some kind of highly speculative thing, because kids aren't buying products to be speculative. Like, they don't even know the word. They don't know what it means. They're buying things that they like, right? And unlike buying, random bags of gems from an in-app purchase, with an NFT, the parent can, like, when the kid is done playing with it, the parent can resell it like they would an old toy. They can either, just as we have tons of old toys and we either give them to charity or we try to sell them or we give them away to friends, the same can be said for any NFT that isn't a kid's game. I think it's brilliant. I think it makes a ton of sense. I don't think it's, nefarious at all. Let's see what they say. Recently, I practiced my own essential financial literacy skills by acquiring a set of images of Kai dancing in a tutu. First, I had to download Zigazoo, which is a kind of junior TikTok designed to be managed by an adult caregiver. Once you're inside, the app solicits videos built around anodyne challenges, like, can you sing in another language? And not too personal questions like, what are your favorite shoes to wear? The content feels less important than the design of the app, which, like any grown-up social network, encourages users to amass followers, rack up likes, and generally become Zigazoo famous. In Zigazoo-ese, that might be translated as, quote, practicing essential attention economy skills. Yeah, sure, maybe. It certainly sounds like a marketing angle from Zigazoo, but you can't deny that there are jobs in tech, where that allow you to build followings. That's pretty standard stuff. What are you guys saying in chat? Let's see. Everyone's saying hi to Terry. That's great. I stumbled across something amazing called A Portion of Dirt. Adult Swim. I don't know. Massive stuff. Hey, Mastiff, what's up, man? Topps baseball cards. Yeah, totally. 100%. Oh, that's all right. Let's see. Many of the app's users appear charmingly unpolished because they're kids. They're children, right? Like, you're the only adult on there, so I would assume that the users would be charmingly unpolished. Posting shaky videos that cut their faces off at their foreheads or chins as they deliver breathless, extemporaneous monologues. Yeah, so it's an early platform that prepares them for using TikTok and other social networks, and really anything, because that's kind of the future anyway. And yet their dispatches are infused with the language of influencers. A typical video begins with, hey, Zigazoo friends, and ends with, like and subscribe. Along the way, there are, by the way, like and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications if you'd like to hear more. Leave a comment if just kidding. Along the way, there are apologies for not posting recently, promises to post more soon, and offers to shout out the user's most engaged followers in the next post, even if those followers don't exist. Occasionally, the strange and tender feed will be interrupted by an oddly glossy video, like from a big on Zigazoo child actor who can execute his challenges while staring meaningfully into the lens and tickling a piano just out of frame. When I signed up, Zigazoo suggested I follow him along with an account associated with the Paw Patrol movie and a Teenage Ninja Warrior champion. Occasionally, adults will appear. Usually, they are selling something like a toy subscription box or a podcast for children. Cool. I keep waiting for the NFT drop. Let's talk about NFTs. Common Sense Media, a nonprofit that rates the age of appropriateness of media and technology, gives Zigazoo high marks for its lack of images of violence, drugs, and sexy stuff. There are no comments on the app, only positive reinforcement mechanisms, and each video is moderated by a human being. That's awesome. But though Common Sense's review states that consumerism is not present on the app, it is everywhere. Every time I opened Zigazoo, I learned that I had earned more Zigabucks, the platform's in-app currency, for dutifully visiting every day. Also, I was constantly prompted to care about Zigazoo's latest NFT drop, images featuring JJ, the cartoon infant star of CoComelon. CoComelon is huge. My kids still to this day love CoComelon. CoComelon is massive. Let's see. CoComelon is wildly popular YouTube channel featuring crudely rendered CGI videos and repetitive nursery rhymes. Like the dentist song and the pasta song. It's basically nursery rhymes that are 3D animated. It's really simple stuff, but kids love it. Though it has no discernible value beyond its ability to hypnotize toddlers for long stretches of time, it has taken over the world. Recently, the brand partnered with the Saudi government to construct a physical CoComelon village in Riyadh, perhaps as part of the Saudi Arabia's larger public relations effort to become known for something other than torturing dissidents. Okay, we're just going to slide that into an article about NFTs. Let's call that practical, essential geopolitical skills. All right. Anyway, children love it. The CoComelon NFTs were sold out before I could snag one, so I waited for the Kai NFT to drop, watching the countdown clock on the Zigazoo app for my moment to invest. Kai's NFTs were selling for $5.99 to $49.99 a pack, with more cash buying you a higher likelihood of acquiring not just a common NFT, but a rare or legendary one, a distinction that went unexplained. Though every Zigazoo NFT, do you have to really explain what a rare or legendary is? Like, people kind of know that, I think. Even kids know that. Anyway, through every Zigazoo NFT is linked to a unique digital record on the Flow blockchain. They're using Flow. All right. The app did not make clear how many of these records it was assigning to each Kai image, which makes it even harder to guess just how worthless it might be in the future. Okay, so you're taking shots again. I selected a rare pack of Kai collectibles for $19.99, answered a parents-only multiple choice multiplication problem to prove I was an adult. Well, that's cool, although I knew my multiplication tables better when I was a kid, and ultimately was rewarded with 4 still images of Kai and 1 rare repeating video of Kai executing the heel toe dance. Well, then there you go. You got a rare piece. That's cool. And by the way, it goes back to collecting anything. Like, to say that it might be worthless in the future, I think is to really not understand collecting and not really get how collectible things are. Like, could it be worthless? Of course. It could also be Beanie Babies, or it could be, comics or designer toys or Bored Ape for kids. Like, you have no clue. You don't know. And you're buying something, which I'm sure whoever the author is. It's Alexis Ohanian's piece, man. And that guy's super connected. He's connected to the entire VC market. So the chance that your the NFT that you just bought actually being valuable in some form or another is actually pretty high. I doubt it's just going to be trash, because the guy has a reputation for not putting out trash. But that is just my opinion. Over the next few days, I was invited to trade my NFTs with other users and participate in NFT-related challenges like Kai Drop, what new toy are you hoping to get? And CoComelon, can you show us your favorite pajamas? Each challenge's winner was rewarded with yet more NFTs. The real challenge in this case appears to be to express yourself by helping to hype a new tech gimmick to a younger class of consumers. this concluded my NFT education on Zigazoo. I mean, I think this is great. Like, it's the first step in taking gaming, casual gaming really, and moving it into a collectible market, right? Like, these are little kids who are learning how to trade and barter, and with parents' permission, obviously, they're buying these NFTs. They get to experience the feeling and the emotion of owning something, like actually owning something that they care about. And make no mistake, like, kids today do not have a distinction between a digital object and a physical one. There is no difference, and that's sort of the brilliance of the smart contract with NFTs, that there literally is no difference, right? It used to be like, well, it's digital and it's not real, and physical is real because I can touch it and smell it. But now we have technology that shows that that digital item is provably unique and provably real and provably yours. And so this next generation of kids is not going to have the same barrier that we had. My kids, when they were little babies, we used to we used to kind of give them iPads, and they would kind of play on the iPad. And then whenever they would see a magazine, they would swipe the cover of the magazine, expecting it to work like an iPad. Like, they didn't think, I mean, they were babies, but they didn't really think that, oh, this has a different mechanism where you turn the pages. They were already native to swiping and moving. Like, that action is so advanced and so core to who we are as people, that was a completely modified way of behaving, and a modified way of growing, and a modified way of using digital objects or the internet or computers or whatever technology that we didn't have, right? We are the slow generation. We went from each little step, we've had to modify slowly over time. They're digital natives, right? And now this next generation that's like really a few years younger than my kids now, or maybe even about my youngest age, to get them into where they're actually collecting something and they can take ownership of something, and then they can like learn how to trade. That's going to get them into gaming. That's going to get them into collecting, and that's going to get them deeper in NFTs. I mean, think about it like this: what she's missing. I'm assuming it's a she. I shouldn't assume. This person, Amanda. So what Amanda is missing in this article is that these kids already are at a point where the generation behind me was. Like, I remember specifically having conversations with interns while I was at Marvel, like, and it blowing my mind that they didn't know a time without a smartphone, right? Because I remember times before a smartphone. I remember every single step of that technology process because I'm old, but they didn't remember. They kind of vaguely remembered hearing about a VHS player, you know what I mean? But they had always had a smartphone. They'd always had an iPod or something like that. And within just like, what is it, like a couple of years, already it's gotten to the point where these kids, if they're in the practice, if they start adapting to NFT technology at 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, they're never going to know a time without NFTs being just a natural part of life. They're always going to have ownership over something digital, which I think is fantastic for all of us who are in the space building and creating and collecting, because they're going to come up through the ranks, and eventually they're going to get into more advanced material, right? They'll go through the natural cycle. They're going to go through the small apps like this Zigazoo thing, and then they'll kind of start doing like preteen gaming and stuff like that. But those will also have NFTs, and then they'll get into the equivalent, whatever the equivalent of the big game of the day is for them, and that'll have NFTs. And they'll basically have a wallet or multiple wallets with all of this stuff that they've collected through their whole life, and they'll have a ton of stuff that they can buy, sell, and trade. Now, will a lot of that be completely worthless? Of course, right? I mean, I have a lot of stuff behind me. Not everything is worth $1 million. You know what I mean? But there will be things in there that become collectibles over time. I think it's huge for not just gaming and not just technology, but I think it's huge for the economic potential of the kids that are actually learning at a young age how to barter, how to buy, how to sell, how to trade, these brand new technical inventions. You know what I mean? I think some of these kids, I think you're going to start seeing articles where like 13-year-old flips his NFT collection, from his Zigazoo NFT collection into a 7-figure salary and starts his own business. Like, I think that's exactly where we're going. Let's see. Let's continue here. All right. My Kai NFT is fine. Like the internet's many dancing babies before her, she's cute, and buying the digital asset also supports a broader project. Serena Williams developed Kai in order to ensure that her daughter's generation has access to black dolls, which Williams herself lacked as a child. I have nothing nice to say about the Cocomelon NFTs. All right. Dolls present endless opportunities for creative play, as exemplified by Kai's macabre beginnings. Her early Instagram account exemplified the generative power of the internet, the ability to spin up a weird creative project and share it with the world, not because it will help teach you how to invest in cryptocurrencies, but just because you feel like it. In its in-app explainer, Why Should Kids Have NFTs?, Zigazoo laments that so much about the internet is about consumption, but states that the future of the internet is what you can create. But states that the future of the internet is what you can create. Right now, though, it's all about what you can buy using Zigabucks. Well, that's because you're short-sighted. Like, I don't think you totally understand. Yeah, I mean, it's a company and they're going to be making money, and that's the point of having a business. But these kids are going to be the ones to be inspired to create their own NFT projects. By the time they're in junior high, they'll have invented their own NFT project, right? The way that we used to create comics as kids, or create paper games, they're going to be creating just as the teens of today build app games, right? iPhone app games or whatever. Like, you're going to have a new generation that's going to take that a step further and actually create NFTs and NFT games and NFT projects. So I think kind of light actually on information. It was really just kind of about Zigazoo and, trying to take a shot maybe at Alexis Ohanian. Kind of a dull article, honestly. But I think what this person is missing an opportunity to really see what's actually happening. And it may be just a lack of interest, or it may be just a lack of understanding. I don't really know. But clearly there's an opportunity. And the fact that I'm really shocked that this person, the writer, did not tie or look into what Alexis is doing in the NFT space. Just yesterday invested like $10 million into Moonbirds. And so completely missing the idea of what the potential is, right? This person, Alexis and Serena, like what they're doing, and they're not just creating stuff. They're not just creating a shitty NFT project to make money. They don't fucking need it. Like, what they're doing is they're starting to experiment with brand building through NFTs and attract kids to that property. It's an IP. And so I think it's fucking brilliant. I mean, they even started with a doll. Like, they beta tested it. They started it with a doll, a real doll, apparently, like an actual doll, and took photos and generated interest. And they were like, okay, well, it's got interest. Let's take it to the next step. So I think it's pretty cool, man. I think you're going to see a lot more in this. And I think it speaks, at the end of the day, I think it speaks to the strength of the medium of NFTs. Because if you're in the NFT space for any period longer than a day, you hear pretty quick that NFTs are a fad, NFTs are trash, NFTs are JPEGs. Oh, look, I downloaded your JPEG and now I own it too. Haha. Like, we're in that kind of like misunderstanding phase where everyone kind of cracks jokes and stuff. They don't really, it's not to the point where everyone either has an NFT or is forced to buy an NFT, right? We're getting to that point. And by force, I mean, like, in day-to-day life, you'll end up buying a Metro card and there'll be an NFT. Or to get into a club, you'll need an NFT. Or to get into your office, you'll need an NFT. Like, these are the badges of the future. So anything that requires a ticket or anything that requires any type of ID is going to most likely become an NFT. Not just gaming and not just collectibles and not just like silly cartoon pictures that people buy, sell, and trade. So we're in that kind of insulting phase. And I think what you're seeing here is kids enjoy NFTs. In fact, let me pull this up. I was actually looking at VFriends Series 2. Have you guys seen VFriends Series 2? Put me in chat while I pull this up. Have you guys seen VFriends? So VFriends is Gary Vaynerchuk's new series that he released for his people, for his crew. So I'm going to pull this up. So this is VFriends. And before I go through this and tell you this, let's look at what you guys are saying. Dusty says, call me DGen, but I just tried to get the app. Apparently it's pulled off the Android App Store. Oh, man. DGen Sky. That's right. Shout out to Nokia 3310. Oh, man. AirTouch pager. Yeah, exactly, right? Old school. Pagers are a little before my time. A wee kid, the adult. Yeah. I never had a pager, but that was because I was poor and I was broke. And we really didn't like what we were going to use pagers for. Like it's not like we had like only when we were kids, only drug dealers had pagers. Clickering it blah, says I'm even old enough to use a rotary dial phone. Yeah, you and me both. Yep. Titles, cars, homes, land, deeds, your car. Yep. Everything's going to be an NFT. So you might as well get used to the technology. So VFriends Series 2, I was showing this. I was looking at this. So every was it Tuesday, I take my oldest daughter to gymnastics. And so I just use it as a co-working space because I seem to be living at a gymnastics place half the time. And so I went and I was looking at VFriends. And so for those that don't know what this is or what's so special about it, Gary released VFriends Series 1 last year, and he drew the cards himself, and he can't draw, right? I mean, his marketing was brilliant for it. Like, he didn't try to draw. He wasn't trying to be an artist. He was drawing, and he was just drawing characters, and they look like what you would expect. I mean, very stick figure-like characters. Regardless, because Gary Vaynerchuk has a huge audience and he's built an incredible following over the last 15, 20 years, the series sold out instantly. And so now for Series 2, he went back and they took the original character. I think they took the original characters and recreated them, but now they've got an artist and they're kind of doing the polished version, plus new features, new rarity traits, and new utility, things like that. So it's not just a re-release; it's a completely new series, but they're kind of taking off where the last one left off. Anyway, I was looking at this and I was just scrolling through it because I'm going to hit buy now, and I'm kind of looking at stuff, and I'm always seeing what's out there. I find it fascinating that he decided to use a card shape so that he even left white on the sides. So from a design perspective, it kind of pops a little bit. I'm fascinated by the stuff, as you guys know. And so we were looking at this. I was looking at this. I'm scrolling through, and all of a sudden, my oldest is starting to stare at it, and she's starting to call out all the animals. And then one of her gymnastics friends comes over, and she's looking at it. And so both of them together started to name the animals inside of the NFT, and some of them are right and some of them are wrong, whale, bird, caterpillar, probably instead of a centipede, right? But they started, and they were so interested that they would not allow me to stop scrolling. They just kept naming and naming and naming and naming. Now there's 48,000 of these. There's and actually I think it's higher than that. I think it's like 55,000 pieces. So there's 48,000 items. And I'm just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and they're not allowing me to stop. And fortunately, what did get me to stop was that gymnastics started, and so I had to shuffle my kid into class, and I was able to kind of take a break. But it was really interesting to see. They're so exposed to the stuff anyway. Everything that they watch is already on a screen, whether it's on a smartphone, whether it's on a laptop, whether it's on a television. And then, so they don't see anything new or different. They see what they've always seen, which is just a really cool cartoon on the screen. As they get older and they get involved in NFTs or buying the minute they have their first game where they can buy an NFT with digital currency or in-app currency, and it's, I think it's fascinating that I don't think kids are going to have to be told that they own this thing. Do you know what I mean? Like adults, because we know what digital is, or we have an older idea of what digital is, we have to be educated on what ownership means, on how each of these are unique and one of one. Kids, though, have the opposite. They think if they have the image, it's theirs. Like it's the default nature of human beings. They believe that they own it because they have it. And as they get older, or what it used to be is as they would get older, they realize that, oh, these are digital images and everybody can have access and I can just drag and drop it to a desktop and blah, blah, blah. But I don't think it's going to have any explanation at all. I think the minute someone says, yeah, you own it, and then they have it in their first little, like my first wallet or whatever you want to call it. And the minute they can go to another website that's not in that game and see the thing that they bought or they own, I think it's going to be hugely powerful. I think they're absolutely gonna take to it like a bird out of, a fish out of water, fish in water, bird, not a fish out of water. They're just gonna really get it. So anyway, I think that article was really missing the point. This is the point. They should have compared it to VFriend Series 2 and said, no, look, and these are adults buying this, right? This is a bridge between kids using games, buying NFTs for the first time, maybe understanding a marketplace for the first time and understanding trade for the first time, and then coming over to an advanced platform and seeing the same thing. They become super native to it. I mean, the only difference really is the price. Like right now, the cheapest one you can buy is $1,400. There's 48,000 of these or whatever, 50. I think the top was like 55,000. There's 55,000 of them, and the cheapest one is $1,400. So, that's basically the difference, right? So, what do you guys think? Dusty says, like a bird in water. Yeah, like a bird in water doesn't really work. That's not really what I was going for. It's a little off. It's a little wrong. It's not exactly what I was thinking of. It's like a duck in a bath in a pond on a spaceship. As natural as that. No. Anyway, that is what I have for tonight. Kind of a short one tonight. It was a decent article. Maybe tomorrow night I've got this article about fractional NFTs. We can check that out maybe tomorrow night. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you think about all of this stuff. Do you think kids need NFTs? Should they stay away from NFTs? Is it poison? Is it harmful? Is it helpful? Is it educational? All these questions need to be answered. And the challenging part for all of us is that, especially since we're on the cutting edge of all of this, is that the answer is yes on all fronts. There are going to be educational things. There are going to be amazing stories. There's also going to be like incredibly harmful stories about NFTs, and who knows? Like it's going to be a real challenge. But that's why we're here early, so we can learn from it and benefit from it and be the first to reap the rewards of it. So with that said, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment below. We are going to go into Discord. We're going to have an after party. Killer brag says kids getting into NFTs are good. It's education to blockchain tech. 100%. See, that's what I think. Future builders of Web3. Yeah, I agree. Actually, I think that it's going to be a big deal. I think it's going to be a big deal. Rick. Okay, so I'm calling you Rick. I'll call you Rick. I don't mind. I'm assuming that's what that means. Rick. Yeah, future builders. I think that's where it's headed. I mean, look, the kids that get into this are the same kids that end up building their first apps this way, right? So Rick, good call, 100%. All right, guys, love you all. Thank you so much for showing up. Dusty. Carrick. Carrick. I'm trying. I'm learning. I'm the world's worst pronouncer of names. Like it's. I grew up in Florida. It's the worst. I'll get there though. It is kind of, come on, you got to give me a little credit. It's a little funny. It's a little funny when I try to mispronounce it. Rick. All right, brother. Anyway, thank you, Carrick, for I'm backwards. Thanks, great insights. Thank you, Massive. Good pushing on that AMA tomorrow. If you guys aren't aware, there's a really cool AMA coming up tomorrow. I'm doing this completely unprepared. Let me see if I can pull this up. Mastiff, why don't you, instead of me trying to find it, why don't you push in chat that AMA that you're going to be a part of tomorrow? I know you're going to be in the audience. I will be too. It's going to be a Web3 storytelling thing with darn it. This is not something I'm planning for. I get it. Kira is Rick backwards. Yep. Let's see. Let's see if I have it on my bookmarks. You're probably going to get, Mastiff's probably going to get it up there before I do. Bushido's. So Bushido's has here, I'll share this. Oh, it's Rick and Morty. So there's a Web3 storytelling AMA together tomorrow. I'm going to be in the audience. I'm not in the Adult Fantasy is not going to be in this one, although we are talking to them now. So hopefully maybe we'll be in the next one. This looks interesting. This looks really cool. I am really liking Massive said you got it there before I did. Bushido's. Awesome. Yeah. So this is great. It's really, really cool to see that we are, our little space is growing. When we first started this, there was no one doing what we were doing. Nobody. Maybe that's not true. Maybe Jenkins of Ballet was probably the only other team that was actually trying to build like a Web3 storytelling aspect. And we were at least at that time, and we may still be the only one doing true ground up. So it's really interesting to see. I love this stuff. So show up tomorrow. I think it's going to be cool. I don't know the team, but I do like the idea of a lot of projects getting together to discuss Web3 and to discuss Web3 storytelling. So check it out. You can just hit Twitter and hit Bushido's NFT and go check that out. And that'll be a lot of fun. All right, guys. With that said, let's head over to Discord. We're going to do the after party. And love you guys. And yeah, I will see you guys there. Yep, Massive says tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. Yep, 100%. In the meantime, Discord after party. I'm gonna get my ass handed to me, but maybe not, because I'm using my phone this time. I'm gonna try to use my phone, so this is gonna be cool. All right, guys. Love you all. Take care.